Now I'm going to look at the fifth wheel components. I'm going to check the fifth wheel slider airline, make sure it's not crimped, cut, or leaking. Then I'm going to check the apron for cracks or broken welds. I'm going to make sure that there's no daylight between the apron and the fifth wheel skid plate. Then I'm going to check the fifth wheel skid plate, make sure it's properly lubricated. I'm going to make sure that the pivot pin is seated and the release arm is in with the safety latch down if it was equipped. Then I'm going to check the sliding fifth wheel locking pins, make sure they are locked and working. Then I'm going to check the mounting platform and sliding track, make sure there are no broken teeth, no broken welds or cracks, and there are no missing or loose mounting nuts or bolts. Then I'm going to check the fifth wheel locking jaws, make sure they are locked around the shank of the kingpin, and the kingpin is not cracked or bent. Now I'm going to look at the rear of the tractor. I'm going to check the main rear frame, make sure there are no missing bolts or cracks or illegal welds. Then I'm going to look at the left and right turn signals, the four-way flashers, the tail lights, the brake lights, and reflectors. They should be red in color, and the backup light should be clear. Make sure all are operational. I'm going to check my splash guards, make sure they are secure, and there are no more than 50% missing. I'm going to check that there is enough space between the tractor and landing gear so they will not hit. Now I'm going to check the front drive suspension. The type will vary per tractor. I'm going to check the spring mounts, make sure they are secure and there are no cracks or missing nuts or bolts. If there is an equalizer equipped, I'm going to check the mount, make sure it is secure and there are no missing nuts or bolts. Then I'm going to check the springs, make sure they are not cracked, missing, or shifted. If there is an equalizer equipped, I'm going to check the equalizer arm, that it's not broken and there are no missing bolts. Then I'm going to check the U-bolts, make sure they are tight and secure and there is no sign of shifting. Equalizers do not have U-bolts. Then I'm going to check the torsion bar, make sure it's secure, there are no missing nuts or bolts, and it is not bent. Then I'm going to check the shock absorber, make sure it's securely mounted, there are no missing nuts or bolts, and no oil indicating a blown shock. Then I'm going to check the upper and lower airbag mounts, make sure there are no missing nuts or bolts, the airbags are fully inflated and not cut, leaking, or rotted. Now I'm going to check my brakes. I'm going to check that the airline is secure and there is no cuts or leaking. Then I'm going to check my brake chamber, make sure it is securely mounted, there are no cracks, leaks, or dents. Then I'm going to check the slack adjuster and push rod. With the brakes released, it should have no more than 1 inch of movement when pulled on. And I'm going to check for any missing cotter pins. Then I'm going to check the brake drum, make sure there is no heat cracks, discoloration, or fluid in the drum, and make sure there are no missing parts. Then I'm going to check the brake lining, make sure there is no cracks, no fluid on it, and it has a minimum of 1/4 inch of thickness.